Well, I'm a sailor and I'm trying to travel around the world aboard the smallest vessel ever, which is here, my little Numancia.
My name is Will and this is Olia. We are professional filmmakers who jumped on a sailboat and are exploring the globe in search of inspiring stories and people along the way. We hope you enjoy this series, and if so, tap the subscribe button so you can follow our adventure. As we prepared to leave Guatemala for Mexico, we had an unexpected encounter with a legendary figure.
My name is Alvaro De Marichalar. Well, I'm a sailor and I'm trying to travel around the world aboard the smallest vessel ever, which is here, my little Numancia.
He is one of the greatest extreme sailors of all time. For the past 40 years, he's accomplished 40 maritime expeditions by personal watercraft, setting 14 world navigation records. Alvaro solo navigated from Hong Kong to Tokyo, from Rome to New York, and around the Caribbean Sea. His list of achievements was nothing short of awe-inspiring. But his current mission is perhaps his most audacious yet. In fact, many people can't believe it's feasible.
Whenever you try anything in life, you can't be sure about being successful because there is plenty of factors that would make it very difficult to succeed. But the important thing in any accomplishment or in any feat in life is just try. So what I'm trying is to navigate every day. I don't know how long, how much I will cover from the world, but I'll try my best, and that's the important thing. Success is your will to try.
We found ourselves in a difficult situation. We were due in Mexico in less than 2 weeks in order to get the boat into a safe anchorage before having to leave for another big film project halfway across the planet. However, we had such a big fascination with Alvaro, who was leaving for Honduras the next day. What would you do? In the end, we decided to take a risk and sail to Utila, which is part of the Honduran Bay Islands, even though it meant deviating from our original plan. Our hope was to meet up with Alvaro there and capture more footage before he would leave to Panama. It was a tricky decision, and we knew the timing was everything. Sailing down the Rio Dulce River at night felt like we were in a scene from the Jungle movie. The atmosphere was both thrilling and eerie, with sounds of the jungle surrounding us as we navigated our way through the darkness. It was a surreal experience that we'll never forget.
To navigate through this river is so tricky. There is fishing nets everywhere, and then sandbars. You can go from 50 feet deep to 5, or even we went to 1.5 feet in like less than 30 seconds. Okay, I'm like shaking, still shaking.
The river opens up to the Caribbean Ocean, and after that, it's only about 115 nautical miles to Utila. As we set up the sails, we felt the significance of why Alvaro embarked on his great journey around the world.
I'm trying to honor, remember, and celebrate 500 years from the first circumnavigation. Magellan and Juan Sebastián Elcano set sail from Seville, Spain, the 10th of August, 1519, with 260 other sailors on board 5 boats. 3 years later, on the 8th of September, 1522, only 18 survivors, commanded by Juan Sebastián Elcano, on board the only remaining boat out of 5, named Victoria, made it back to Seville. That proved empirically that our world is round. It's not flat, as they would think in the 16th century. It's not flat, it's round. And that was, from the geographical point of view, is considered the most important expedition ever accomplished by humankind. So I'm trying to do the same thing, sailing on my feet around the world. I'm here in Rio Dulce now. That's 20% of the expedition is completed. I have another 2 more years to go, and I'm going to keep trying.
In the 20% that he's completed so far, he's already faced incredible challenges. He's encountered crazy storms, freezing waters, pirates, and massive waves, among other obstacles. The guy crossed the Atlantic on a SeaDoo, and he's in his 60s now. When he was crossing the Atlantic, he received support from a vessel carrying petrol. He would quickly refuel and continue sailing on his own. He would occasionally take an hour's rest if the weather permitted, and then set sail again.
Any moment, a disaster could happen. Any kind of disaster. I can vanish, I can hit a container, or a piece of wood, or I'm killed by a light. But that's life, you know, and you should always try to fight it, not being afraid about fear. Just having fear as your ally. Fear provides you strength to fight against the worst.
Oh, we hear you, Alvaro. Sailing is always filled with ups and downs. They are very high highs and very low lows, nothing in between. The journey to Utila was peaceful and picturesque, and we were very happy with our timely progress. And our spirits were lifted as we look forward to meeting Alvaro the next day.
Arriving flag, Honduran flag. Yay!
Well, we're just arriving. It's about 8:45 in the morning, which is good. We've got a northwest wind coming over the next few days. It's supposed to blow gales, so apparently the holding here isn't very good. It's good to arrive in the sunlight so we can see where is a good spot to put our anchor.
Okay, dropping.
Unfortunately, our joy at reaching Utila was short-lived. The weather conditions changed dramatically, and for 5 harrowing days, the wind roared at over 20 knots, sometimes 40. The rough seas caused the majority of the sailboats to drift towards the shore or reef, and the high winds made it impossible to leave the bay for a safer spot. It's not an advertisement, but we sure did appreciate our mantis anchor during that time. But the whole experience overall was a nightmare. Alvaro was also passionately waiting for his departure day. The sun was finally shining, but we knew we only had one window of opportunity to set sail for Mexico, as the forecast predicted another round of bad weather. Meanwhile, Alvaro was preparing to come and see us. Since we only had a few hours to spare for filming, he arranged for a friend to meet us with a powerboat to help us. So Alvaro just messaged us and said that he's going to be coming here in about half an hour. He's coming over from the mainland. I think it's an hour and a half or so to get here. So we got to quickly provision. We're getting some fuel, we're getting some food, we're getting some water, and hopefully we'll be ready by the time he gets here so that we can concentrate on some filming.
Because once we will be done with filming, we must go as fast as possible to Mexico, because in 3 days will be bad weather and we have very short window.
Hola, amigo! Yeah, so I think we're gonna try to aim for Pigeon Key. It's incredible. Yeah, I think we'll get some shots of you flying, and then where we, make sure you're looking over occasionally so we can say, hey, we need something new. So yeah, I guess we'll cast the line. Let's do it.
Okay.
There?
Yeah.
Can pack here 140 liters of gas, 70 liters here. That gives me 200 nautical miles range. Maximum speed up to 40, 45, 50 knots, but normally 18, 20, 15, 20 would be the cruising. I installed some lights in order to navigate by day, by night. Also, GPS installed, anti-fire. I have this built-in antenna in order to have this high range radio and try to communicate. Then I have a GPS antenna, and I have the antenna of the AIS, which means that this boat can be traced by police, by the Navy, and they would know that this machine is coming from Seville and trying to get to Seville. And that's it, Numancia. That's the name, the magical name of my little vessel, the size of a dolphin.
Pigeon Key is actually two separate islands connected by a small bridge. It's an absolutely beautiful fishing town with under 500 people living there, and it was really cool to see how much the community cared about pollution, something pretty rare in that part of the world.
Amazing. I'm coming from La Ceiba, which is in Honduras mainland, and I arrived here to this paradise.
Honestly, spending time with Alvaro is something very special. Despite all his accomplishments, he doesn't talk much about them. Instead, he likes to share stories about the people he meets during his travels and the special moments he experiences. Being around him is like seeing the world in a new light, just like how having a child can change your perspective. Alvaro has a unique talent to inspire those around him to view the world differently and appreciate the beauty in everything.
And suddenly I saw this huge seagull coming like a kamikaze towards me. I saw, I'm gonna be attacked by this guy. No, it was a flying fish. The flying fish was on my little water scooter and she grabbed it and took it out. Second time it happened to me. happened to me in 2013 in Aruba. Same scene today again.
Wow.
Incredible. Well, the purpose of this around the world aboard the smallest vessel ever is trying to educate myself, learning about all the cathedral of the sea has to offer, and getting to know the point of view of everybody I will encounter on my way. And from this knowledge, try to share it with the world in order to educate, in order to take advantage of knowing what's going on, especially trying to face, trying to solve, trying to fix the two main problems the ocean, therefore the world, is suffering from, which is the plastic pollution and overfishing. In 5 years, the weight of plastic will be higher than the weight of all fish in the waters. And that's terrible, because that means a lack of responsibility of humankind. When we think that God borrowed us this little house called planet Earth, despite it should be called planet Ocean or Ocean Planet, because 70% of the planet is made out of water, and we are not even paying a rent, and we are not taking care of it. It's ridiculous. We should really get to know where we are, and we should protect our little apartment called planet Earth. And we can do it. It's just a question of conscience, and get to know and get to love ourselves and our little home. I'm really, hola, I'm touched by this place. I'm very happy to be here. I couldn't imagine it would be so nice. It's very inspiring to see a community like this one here. They're all living out of fishing, but in an in an old way, not with big nets, whatever, like artisans. And they fish all what they need, just what they need, which is sustainable fishing. And that's a good example for all of us. We should learn about these communities. You just take from nature what you need, not more, because if you take more, nature cannot get regenerated and we lose the whole thing. So these people are a good example for all of us.
1, 2, 3. Smokes. What were you doing there? We just went 71 knots on the water. Holy cow. And you just ruined the next 3 days for us. You know that, right? We're going to be topping out at 6. Wow.
Crazy.
That's too much fun. That's too much fun.
Oh, hello, Bonita.
Got it! Thank you! See you soon! What an inspiring guy he is, huh? Just like, always smiles, he has a great outlook on life, and I think he cares about the right things, So I think we look forward to seeing him again down the road somewhere. Hey?
Yep.
Yeah. We had the honor of meeting a true legend in Alvaro. His unwavering determination gives us full confidence that he will accomplish this incredible adventure and go down in history as the guy who sailed around the world on a craft the size of a dolphin. But what surprised us the most was his immense passion for environmental advocacy. It was inspiring to see his commitment to preserving our planet. In the end, it was this aspect of Alvaro that truly touched our hearts and left us feeling even more inspired.
Good luck, our friend, with all your adventures. We know that one day we will meet you again.